There was a recording NASA kept sealed for 3 years because it was too terrifying. It came from just 6 million kilometers away from the sun, and what they heard sounded like the entire universe was screaming. But wait, space is a vacuum. Sound can't travel in space. So what exactly was this? The Parker Solar Probe finally gave us the answer. What we heard wasn't sound at all. It was electromagnetic waves, raging within the solar wind. Every violent fluctuation was the magnetic field of the sun tearing itself apart. When scientists converted those waves into audio, the entire room went silent, because that scream never stopped. Every second, the sun is releasing destructive energy into space, and Earth is like a balloon floating inside a sea of fire, one tiny puncture away from annihilation. Worse, when these signals become dense, it means a solar storm is coming. Now imagine this. Using a shield that's only 11.43 centimeters thick to approach the sun, how long do you think you can last? The Parker Solar Probe tells you the answer. For 7 years, that 11.43 cm shield has been the only thing keeping it alive. Right now, Parker is diving toward the sun at 192 kilometers per second. At that speed, traveling from Beijing to Shanghai takes only 6 seconds. And it's heading straight into the solar corona, a region that reaches 2 million degrees. No human-made object in history has ever dared get this close to the sun. 6 million kilometers sounds far, but in cosmic scale, that's like dancing with fire, touching distance. Its mission: solve a 60-year scientific mystery. Why is the sun's surface only 6,000 C, while the corona reaches 2 million C? This breaks the laws of thermodynamics. It's like the inside of a refrigerator being hotter than the outside. In 2018, Parker launched from Florida a $1.5 billion mission to enter the most hostile hell humans have ever attempted to reach. The corona isn't heat like you imagine. It's heat that tears atoms apart. Electrons rip from hydrogen nuclei, turning space into a sea of plasma. And the worst threat isn't even heat, it's radiation. Every second, the sun releases the energy of 100 billion hydrogen bombs. If Earth was where Parker is right now, we would completely vaporize in under 1 minute. So how is Parker still alive? Because inside that 11.43 cm shield, engineers put a revolutionary structure. The middle layer is almost entirely air. Yes, air, because vacuum is the best thermal insulator. Fewer air molecules equal slower heat transfer. The outside is coated with white ceramic, reflecting 90% of incoming solar energy. Even when the outer layer reaches 1,400 C, the instruments behind it stay at around 30 C. Like running AC next to an active volcano. On April 28, 2021, human history changed forever. Parker crossed the ALFV and critical surface, where the sun can no longer control the solar wind. And what Parker saw stunned scientists. The corona boundary is not smooth. It is filled with spikes, cliffs, and jagged structures. Like the sun is covered in sharp thorns. Even stranger, solar wind doesn't travel straight. It suddenly bends sharply, like a snake folding into zigzags. These reversals happen every few minutes. These magnetic switchbacks may be the key to solving the heating mystery. Every switchback unleashes a surge of energy, like cracking a whip, and this constant injection of energy superheats the corona to millions of degrees. Parker even found a dust-free zone between 3.2 to 6 million kilometers from the sun. All cosmic dust is completely vaporized, which means the sun is even more terrifying than we thought. And this is not just curiosity research. This is survival of our civilization. Solar storms, coronal mass ejections, can launch billions of tons of charged particles into space. In 2024, 3 semis collided into a monster blast, triggering auroras worldwide, beautiful yet deadly. A strong geomagnetic storm can destroy satellites, collapse GPS systems, and black out power grids. In 2012, a storm barely missed Earth if it had hit. Global power grids could have been destroyed for years. Over $2 trillion in damage. Parker's mission is to give us early warning. From now until 2026, Parker will dive even closer. Each orbit faster, tighter, more extreme, eventually, only 3.83 million kilometers from the surface. By then it will be the fastest human-made object in history, and around 2025, Parker will likely perform its final act, plunging directly into the sun, sending data until the last second. Before it vaporizes inside the corona, a probe flying 7 years, only to die in fire. That is true greatness. Parker proved the sun is not a quiet burning sphere. It's a living fusion reactor, performing the most extreme physics in the universe. And yet, here we live under its warmth every day. Never realizing how dangerous it really is, Parker taught us something eternal. The universe is far more complex than we ever imagined. Humans are small, but we never stop exploring. We built a machine that survived 1,400 C. We flew into a 2 million degree hell. We cracked a riddle that haunted science for 60 years. That is the meaning of civilization, not strength, but persistence. And when Parker completes its final dive in 2026, its legacy will be more than data. It will be a message. As long as curiosity exists, there is no limit we cannot cross, no mystery we cannot solve. As long as we dare to fly toward the fire.